I started dancing when I was 3 years old. As I grew up, dance became a larger part of my life to the point where I spent around 10 hours a week at my dance studio. At last, I knew there was something more I wanted to do instead of just being a dancer myself. I wanted to spread the passion and joy of dancing to a new generation by teaching dance classes. This initial spark of interest is what started my journey with community service. So I became more involved with my community. I helped in food drives, worked on fundraising projects, and helped throw a winter party for some of the less fortunate children in my community. But while working on the winter party, I noticed a serious problem in my area. Ashburn is considered to be an affluent city, but those children did not have the same access to education as some of the more fortunate kids in Ashburn. I started thinking of ways I could help improve the education of those who were less fortunate. My siblings and I decided that we wanted to provide books to less fortunate children. Many families have books that are not being used. Just think of all the books you have lying around the house which haven't been opened in a long time. Those could easily be donated to book drives. My siblings and I set up donation areas around our high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools, as well as temples and libraries where people could donate books that they were not currently using or haven't used in a while. However, because of COVID-19, many people choose to not leave their home, meaning they cannot drop off book donations. So we coordinated times to collect books from doorsteps and deliver them to orphanages, homeless shelters, and daycares. By giving these kids books, we cultivate their passion for reading. One of the children at an orphanage we served said that they had never been more excited to get a book. This truly changed my perspective on community service. After noticing that a small donation of books was able to have such an impact, I wanted to take gift of giving to the next level and reach more people in need. I'm currently in the process of establishing Gift of Giving as an independent nonprofit, which will allow us to access more resources and expand our impact on the community. During my experience, I learned something. Participating in community service not only helps the people receiving the service, but also the people who are doing the service. Community service helps people feel more connected to their community, giving them a strong sense of self-satisfaction. For many people, the hardest part is finding where to start. There are a few steps I suggest following while trying to get more involved with community service. The first step would be to figure out an issue in the community that you want to address. For example, access to affordable, nutritious food is a very prevalent issue in many communities. Then research if there are any existing organizations working to help solve the issue. If there are, you can donate your time and resources to those organizations. I understand that not everyone has the time in their current lives to actually go out and do some form of service, so another way to help people in need is by donating money. However, if there are no existing organizations, the third step would be to start your own organization to fix the problem in your community. This step will require dedication and planning, so make sure you consider this option carefully before starting out. It is important to consider what resources need to be collected to solve the problem. For me, books were the resource needed to help solve a lack of equity and access in education. After you have a plan, you can start putting the plan into action by testing it out on a smaller scale, like doing small collections. If there is an impact, take it to the next level by creating the organization. Your organization will encounter setbacks and failures, but once successful, it can be taken to a much larger scale where a clear improvement is made to your community. My goal for you today is for you to think about ways to connect with your local community, whether that means doing something small like donating a few dollars to a local charity, or large like starting your own nonprofit. All of us have the ability to foster positive change in our communities. By doing this, we can create a ripple and truly change the world. Thank you.